before the horse. I thought you were supposed to consult before you made a decision, not afterwards.
Essex County Council says it does want to hear the views of parents on the issue. It also says where it's identified there's a clear need for escorts, they will continue in those cases. A 46-year-old man from Southend has been charged with stealing almost £300 worth of crayons from a store in the town centre. He was arrested on Saturday afternoon and is due to appear at Southend Magistrates Court next month. In BBC Essex Sport, it's been announced that a decision over the future of the Olympic Stadium, which was expected on Friday, has been delayed. The Olympic Park Legacy Company says more time is needed to consider the bids from West Ham United and Tottenham Hotspur football clubs. The contract of Dagenham and Redbridge midfielder Stuart Lewis has been cancelled by mutual consent. He joined the Daggers from Gillingham last summer. He's been playing on loan at League Two club Wycombe Wanderers. Officials at Sky Sports say presenters Richard Keys and Andy Gray won't be involved in coverage of tonight's Premier League match. It's after they made sexist comments about a female assistant referee. They've since apologised. And the Colchester dart player Colin Lloyd has been fined £2,000 for bringing the game into disrepute. He's been reprimanded after his actions at the recent World Championships. Here's weather forecast for Essex. This evening, still a little cloudy at times, but it should stay dry with clear spells. Cloudy overnight, dry at first with a chance of some spots of rain or drizzle later. Temperatures going down to 3 degrees Celsius, that's 37 degrees Fahrenheit. Tomorrow mostly cloudy with patchy rain at times, more persistent later. Temperatures up to 8 Celsius, that's 46 Fahrenheit. And Wednesday, a cloudy start with some showers, drier later. BBC Essex News and Sport, it's 5 minutes past 4.
BBC Essex Travel. I'm Barry Lewis. Good afternoon. Now at Wilson's Corner in Brentwood, it's getting busy on the approaches, particularly on Ingrave Road and Ongar Road. Other major routes there seem to be moving quite well according to CCTV control. It is quite slow as you head through the roadworks on the south inbound A13 from the Five Bells interchange towards the Pitsea flyover and down towards Sadler's Farm. In Southend, busy on Victoria Avenue. That's quite slow in both directions. No problems reported around Chelmsford. In Colchester, though, it is quite slow moving on the High Street according to CCTV control. On the motorways, no problems reported. Now the M11 back to normal on the southbound side after those earlier emergency repairs. And M25 looking okay, including the Dartford crossing. Just having a look at the cameras there. On the railways, we have no major delays. I'm Barry Lewis. Next update in 15 minutes.
Stuck in a jam?
Call 0500 827 362.
BBC Essex Travel.
Coming to force in April will actually be more like 4 or 5 pence a litre by the time you've added inflation and VAT. Well, we sent our reporter Marianne Bradley down to Purfleet to gauge the reaction of BBC Essex listeners to the costs.
Here in a lay-by just in between Purfleet and the M25, there's a snack van and there are lots of truckers parked up getting their morning bacon butties and cups of tea. Let's see what they think about the current situation regarding fuel prices. How much does it cost to fill up this big truck?
£600.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you remember when it was less than that?
Oh, yeah.
Not long ago?
Yeah, about 4 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 500, so about £100.
Is it hitting you personally?
Yeah, it's hitting the company, yeah.
Have they had to take any steps to sort of take the fact that it's costing so much more money on fuel?
Yeah, they've taken 3 lorries off the road in the last 6 months.
And that's just down to fuel costs?
Well, partly, yeah, it's a big part of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What about in your personal life? Have you noticed, do you have a car? Do you fill that up?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's gone from £60 to about £80, £85 now.
Yeah, and is that hitting your wallet quite hard?
It's my wife's.
But is it impacting on your life? Are you having to find that extra 25 quid to go in the tank rather than on something else?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, fuel definitely. We don't put so much in now, and we try to walk a bit now as well. So rather than sort of jumping in the car.
So think about fuel prices at the moment.
Killing my business.
Really? Why?
It costs me over £70 a week just to come here to work.
Yeah. And you're having to...
I'm moving because of it.
Really?
Moving house this week, yeah.
Why you... Explain how that works.
I live in Chingford.
Yeah.
And I have to travel down to here every day.
Yeah.
It's £70 a week. So we're moving to South Ockenden this week.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty extreme.
Needs must.
Yeah. Obviously, you must get a lot of truck drivers coming here for bacon sandwiches and the like. Do they talk about it?
Oh, yeah, hell of a lot.
What do they say?
Killing everyone's business. Absolutely killing them. All the truckers, everyone. It's just unbelievable.
What do you reckon to fuel charges at the moment? How much does it cost you to fill this vehicle up?
This vehicle costs about, it must be around about £1,000 to fill up.
Really?
Yeah.
How many litres is that?
400 litres.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
How much? Can you remember it being a lot less than that?
Yeah, quite often, yeah. It wasn't that long ago. It was considerably cheaper, but it's getting more and more expensive every week, virtually.
I mean, you must chat to other truck drivers. Are people worried about it?
Well, yeah, I mean, because it's costing a lot of jobs, ultimately, because you get the foreigners coming over, running on cheaper diesel, so they're getting the work, because they can get less rates than us.
And you're employed by a business. Do you know if the business are worried about, their increased costs because of the increased costs in fuel?
Yeah, absolutely, because that's why they buy newer trucks to confirm with this new legislations. But the engine's so strangled, they try and get like 10 miles to the gallon out of a truck, which is just virtually impossible nowadays. It's just not going to happen,
Do you think that the government needs to do something about the price of fuel?
Well, absolutely, yeah. They need to try and do something. I mean, even if they just bring it down for hauliers somewhat, I mean, it's just getting diesel now. It's just astronomical. It's just we're not on a fair level playing field with all the other European communities. So they have to do something, yeah.
BBC Essex's Marianne Bradley in Purfleet talking to worried motorists, truck drivers, and a woman who says she's moving house because of fuel prices. BBC Essex News headlines tonight. A 37-year-old man's been arrested after a passenger plane was forced to divert to Stansted Airport following a disturbance on board. The 23-year-old man remains in a critical but stable condition in hospital this afternoon after being attacked by up to 6 people in Southend. And Essex police say a man's body's been found in Wat Tyler Country Park in Basildon. .co.uk if you've got any questions for Colchester manager John Ward or the Colchester owner Robbie Cowley.
BBC Essex Travel.
Monday Russia, let's see how travel's behaving itself. Here's Barry.
Thanks very much, Ian. Now, a few delays in Brentwood on Ongar Road and Ingrave Road at Wilson's Corner in particular. Other routes there seem to be moving quite well. Just spoke to CCTV control just a short while ago. And A13, as you head towards Southend, there's slow traffic. Those roadworks causing some delays as you head towards Sadler's Farm, particularly busy between Five Bells and Pitsea Flyover in Southend. Busy both ways on Victoria Avenue down towards Victoria Circus. Once again, some roadworks there that aren't helping things. On the seafront in Southend, Marine Parade is busy both ways, and in Colchester, not too bad, but a few delays on the High Street. On the motorways, no problems reported. I have been looking at the M25 and the M11 on the cameras, and all appears to be flowing quite well. And there are no major delays on the county's trains this afternoon. I'm Barry Lewis. Next update in 15 minutes.
BBC Essex Travel.
Log on to bbc.co.uk/Essex.
After the news and sport at 4:30, we get the latest on the goings-on at Stansted Airport today. An airline that was heading to Heathrow had to be diverted to the North Essex terminal following an incident on board. We'll get more from our reporter Richard Martin on that. We'll go to Bristol. We'll get the latest on the Joe Yates murder investigation. A man appeared in court today charged with murdering the former Rittald student. And we'll also talk more about the Sky Sports comments about a female linesman. The two commentators thought they were off air. Their microphones were still recording. Someone forwarded it on to a national newspaper. And there you go. Sunday's headline news.
Ollie Adam has handed in a transfer request. The news comes after manager Ian Holloway revealed that 3 clubs had made unsuccessful bids for the player: Aston Villa, Birmingham and Liverpool. Essex Senior League leaders Stansted have been given a home tie in the last 16 of the FA Vars. Stansted, who won the competition in 1984, will host Dunstan UTS of the Northern League. The match is due to be played on Saturday, the 12th of February. Andy Murray says his straight-set demolition of Jurgen Meltzer to reach the quarterfinals of the Australian Open tennis is one of the best performances of his career. He'll now face Alexander Dolgolov, who caused an upset by beating Robin Soderling. In darts, Colchester's Colin Lloyd has been fined £2,000 for bringing the game into disrepute. During his first round match at the World Championships, he punched the dartboard and threw his darts to the floor in a reckless manner. He was fined £1,000 for each offence. England Rugby Union manager Martin Johnson has added 4 more players to his squad for the Six Nations to cover for injury and suspension. With the details, the BBC's rugby correspondent Ian Robertson.
After the recent injuries to Tom Croft, Lewis Moody and Courtney Laws, plus the suspension of Dylan Armitage, Martin Johnson has named 4 players to come into the squad ahead of the match against Wales in 11 days' time.